Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds. It's Thursday morning, and don't look now, but the Bears are 4-3, my guy.
They are indeed, and 2-1 in Conference USA, and that is pretty doggone good.
It is.
Now, this wise, and I'm using that term rather loosely, prognosticator predict the Bears would have 4 wins this year. I'm going to up that prediction now. They'll have more than that. And I think the next one will come next week. That's speaking optimistically. The Bears do get a win last night. It's overtime over New Mexico State, 24-17. When it went to overtime, I thought, this is not going to end well. And it did. The Bears got a touchdown on their first drive. That's how you do it in college football, folks. You start at the 25-yard line and advance it into the end zone or kick the field goal or do whatever. It's a little bit different from the way the pros do it. Anyway, Jacob Clark, who had 28 completions last night and did get the start, somewhat surprisingly to me, he passes to Ronell Johnson in the end zone. Extra point was good. The Bears had the lead at that point, 24-17. Now back comes New Mexico State. And the quarterback for New Mexico State was Logan Fife, and the Bears have seen him before because he was a transfer from Montana, which the Bears played last year, you might remember. Anyway, Fife threw 4 interceptions last night, and number 4 came in the overtime. It was very controversial. The officials took about 5, 6, 7 minutes to decide whether or not it was a pick, because interference was called on the play, but eventually they picked up the flag, said this game is over, and the Bears get the win 24-17 OT. Mike, I would not call this an artistic success by any stretch. It was a very ragged game. Now, coaches and players are not allowed to criticize the officials. That's a fine if you do it, but not the media. And this media member right here thought that was one of the most atrociously poor officiated games. It was ragged, up and down. I don't know how many interference calls were adjudicated in this one, but every pass down the field seemed like it was an interference. And it really was kind of ragged the way they played it. But bottom line is this: Bears get the win, and it's a big win, and play Florida International next Wednesday night here in town.
So you're telling me that the officiating consistency problems we have in the National Football League are also happening in college football?
These were NFL rookies.
I'm being facetious. It sounds like they're all going to the same school. That might be a problem. You mentioned that the Bears are 2-1 in Conference USA. So we need to really start paying attention to the other teams in this conference.
One other game last night, and the one other game last night was in Newark, Delaware. And the Delaware, this is great because blue was the color of the night there. The Delaware Blue Hens defeated the Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders. What is this? Anyway, Delaware 31, Middle Tennessee 28. Delaware, like the Bears, is a new team in Conference USA. They don't play each other in football. They will in basketball this year, but nonetheless, big win for the Delaware Blue Hens.
And we usually have Friday night lights, but we got some high school football today.
They have to understand this is the next to last game in the regular season. Next week, the final is the start of district play, so these teams don't know who they're going to play. You have a pretty good idea. But in this final week, many of them play on Thursday because, number one, it's homecoming, and number one, because they get an extra day of rest. Glendale will go to Nixa to play.
And the Kansas City Chiefs have another Monday Night Football game coming up against the Commanders. It was announced yesterday. It looks like Jaden Daniels is going to be sitting out, and we're going to face off with Marcus Mariota.
And what made that very interesting is the fact that the point spread in this game went from 9.5 points Chiefs to 12.5 points Chiefs without Jaden Daniels in there. The wise people out in Las Vegas who put together all these spreads say, well, Marcus Mariota. Hey, gang, Mariota was a really good player at Oregon. He was a top-notch, high recruit and all this sort of thing, and highly drafted player. Now, he isn't Jaden Daniels, but Mariota can play the game. However, it's not going to make any difference because Washington's defense, which Mariota does not play, is really poor. I think the Chiefs got a big one, but we'll talk more about that later on. The Chiefs are a 12.5-point favorite over Washington.
Again? Well, hey, I know going into the Raiders game last week, I made a big deal about saying, last year Chiefs don't cover. Didn't cover one time, so just keep that in mind. Well, they covered on Sunday, so I'm not saying anything about this.
31 points as a matter of fact.
I'm not saying anything about this one, man, because it's anybody's guess at this point. And this is why one of the biggest reasons I don't gamble. I just enjoy it, unless that's all. We have a pretty big Thursday night football matchup. Again, we're at Coyotes every Thursday on Glenstone, starting at 7. If you want to watch the game with us. And if you're a Chiefs fan, you're actually going to have to be a Vikings fan tonight.
Well, it's an interesting game because the Los Angeles Chargers are at home and a 3.5-point pick, and they are playing the Minnesota Vikings at SoFi Stadium. So this will be a key game. Minnesota's coming off a loss to Philadelphia last week, and they gave Philadelphia a pretty good battle, but did not win the game. And the Chargers, oh my goodness sake, they have been in a slump. So this is a really big test for them if they want to remain a viable force in the AFC West. I don't think they are, but if they want to remain that, they'll have to come away with a win over the Vikings, and the Chargers are a 3.5-point choice tonight.
Like I said, let's go Vikings. Better get that win. Help us out on our record. All right. Looks like we might see a new manager on the West Coast soon.
Not might, you will. New manager, and this is historic in Major League Baseball because never before has a manager with no professional experience. None. Now, it doesn't mean he's inexperienced, but he has none in the pro ranks, is the new manager. His name is Tony Vitello. He is was the head coach at Tennessee, and the University of Tennessee has had some big-time years. They were national champs in 2024, and they've been in the College World Series a number of times. Vitello is only 47 years old, very good college coach. He's an assistant coach at Mizzou and was an assistant coach at Arkansas on a couple of occasions. But now he is the new manager of the San Francisco Giants, and the first time ever in Major League Baseball history that a manager's been hired who has no pro experience. Oh, wait a minute, how does that work now? The general manager of the Giants is Buster Posey, who's a very bright guy, also a college guy from Florida State. Posey thinks that this guy, Vitello, has all the ingredients to be a good Major League manager. Well, we'll find that out pretty quickly. Tony Vitello is the new manager of the San Francisco Giants.
Ned, have a wonderful Thursday, and better have some red on tomorrow. It's Friday.